Hi, my name is Tom Buckley. I am the Digital Learning Manager for the Faculty of Health and Applied Sciences at the University of the West of England. I've chosen to do a small video rather than a written introduction to my career to date, just because you're going to be reading a lot during the portfolio and it might be nice just to get a summary straight from myself. I started off my career in 2007 at the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. I spent a time there doing project administration for education projects. I did a lot of committee work. I did a lot of work on something called the e-portfolio, the NHS specialty e-portfolio for obstetricians. Rolled that out nationwide with the help of a manager at the time called Ollie Jones, with the help of, he did most of the work, to be honest. I left the RCOG after about a year and a half. I joined the University of Bath. I helped them to manage the administration for the postgraduate programs in clinical pharmacy. These were a very blended program. They were kind of based on the Gilly Salmon model, the 5-step model. A lot of distributed delivery, and for each module maybe one contact day a module. This was a really big introduction to distance learning or blended learning. I got to see how much admin was involved, got to work with some quite talented professionals. It was a really good introduction to the field, but it was only maternity cover. I think they did want me to stay, but I was ready to move on at that point. I then joined the University of Bristol, not as a student, so I did a master's there, research methods, and I interned in what was then called the Education Support Unit. I interned mostly looking at simulation, looking a little bit at Wimber Create, so online authoring tools. When my studies ended, I left Bristol, left the internship there after a pretty unsuccessful project to do with Blackboard as an intranet. I went on to work for the RCPCH, which is the Royal College of Paediatrics and Child Health. There I was doing some exams management, some psychometrics management, and the development of questions for a new examination. So they were bringing in a new theory examination as part of the membership process. I managed the quality assurance of question writing events attached to that. So lots of sitting, talking about what makes a good question, and then looking at, I can't remember what the test was called, Anglioff, or whatever the psychometric tests we used in that institution were called. That again was maternity cover, and it was in London. I finally got the opportunity to move back to the Southwest more permanently when I joined the University of the West of England. I've always been in health and applied sciences for as long as I've been here. It's about 7 years now. I've moved up from what was called then the course developer brackets technologist. We then used the term learning technologist, and I've got a few promotions to being digital learning manager for about the last 2 to 3 years. There was a contract dispute, so it's really hard to say at what point I became what, because it was all done retrospectively. But about 2.5 years, maybe 3 at this point in time. The job itself has not changed. In that period, I manage a team of, I think there's about 7.5 of us all in all. We're not all learning technologists now. But we've got a big footprint, and we're instrumental in digital learning, yeah, primarily, but also digital transformation in the faculty outside of like the ITS priorities, which is our information services. We are rolling out new strategies, we're rolling out new spaces. It's quite a big time of change at the university. But it's going all right, it's going well. I really enjoy my work here at the moment. You'll see from the rest of the portfolio the kind of hodgepodge of stuff that I've done in my time here. As this is for a senior CMALT, you'll see an additional advanced area at the end where I focus on the breadth of my experience in health and medical education. And I suppose the difference between this and the last time I did a CMALT is a lot of my reflections are based on how my job's changed over the last couple of years, from doing to managing doing, and how a lot of it's about how legislation has impacted how we think about what we do and how we need to be a bit tighter. But I hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to your feedback in the future.